Hi everyone, so today's class is a yoga class. We're going to go through all of the warrior postures and hopefully build up to a flying warrior towards the end of class if that feels accessible to you. Just remember to go with the movement that feels good, lots of options throughout the class. We'll get started. So sitting either in a comfortable position with the legs crossed or with the legs long, and just bring those fingertips down to the floor, letting the shoulders fall gently away from the ears. We think about lengthening through the spine, just aligning and stacking the vertebrae. And just begin to clear the mind. And we can focus inwards, taking a second to focus on the breath, focusing on the body, noticing any moods, any thoughts that arise. And then making a conscious decision just to slow the breath down. So we begin to take long and slow inhalations and exhalations, both in and out through the nose. Just letting that breath still the mind, calm the body down. If possible, we try to restrict the back of the throat so that we stimulate and engage our ujjayi breath, if that's in your practice. This means we should be able to really hear the breath and feel the breath warming the body up. This breath helps us to gain warmth throughout the body, helps us to calm the mind. Just keeping that focus on the slow breathing pattern. And on the next inhalation, we lift both arms. We bend the elbows and take hold of either elbow. On an exhalation, just begin to rotate and turn slowly to the right hand side, keeping both sitting bones connected to the floor. We breathe in to come back to center. And then exhale, rotate in the spine, turning slowly to the other side. The whole upper body moves as one unit. Breathe in center. Breathe out, rotate. Turn slowly to the right. One more time, breathing in center. Exhale, rotate in that thoracic spine. Slowly to the side. We come back to center and readjust the hands. We bring the fingertips to the shoulders. Just begin to roll those shoulders back, trying not to take the movement into the torso. Again, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Then we change the direction, so we draw those circles round the other way with the elbows. Then leaving both arms still. Taking an inhalation, first of all, we contract and round the spine, draw elbows close. Then exhale, open and expand across the ribcage, draw elbows apart. Breathe in, round in the spine, we hollow here. Then exhale, pressing through, drawing those elbows apart. Again, breathing in. Exhale, press through. Last time, breathing in. Exhale, pressing through. We can release. We readjust, coming into a tabletop position. So hands come directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. First of all, inhale. Just begin to try and draw one shoulder to the hip. Then exhale, bringing it back to center. We change sides. Breathe in, draw the elbow towards that hip. Then exhale, coming back to center. One more time each side. We can soften the elbow as we breathe in, let that shoulder come towards the hip. Then exhale to center. Lifting just one hand, turning the hand round. And exhale, work the heel of the hand down towards the floor. just opening through the muscles in the forearm. We gently change sides, lifting the other hand, turn that hand round, and work heel of the hand down towards the floor. If it's comfortable, we bring the weight forwards just slightly. And then again, fingertips forwards on both hands. Tuck the toes underneath first of all. Float the knees away from the floor if possible. Then exhale, pressing hips up towards the ceiling. And we just shake the head from side to side, saying no. Give the head a gentle nod, just releasing in the neck, saying yes. Again, finding that stillness, pressing those hips towards the ceiling. Heels work down towards the floor. We're keeping the muscles in the arms active here. Gently bend both knees to lift those heels. We slowly walk the feet forwards towards the hands. Then just taking hold of the elbows, slight bend in the knees. We rock gently from side to side here. Really good way just to release any tension in the spine. Ragdoll pose. Again, we release the elbows. We take a deep breath in through the nose, lifting both arms. Bring palms together. Exhale, draw hands down to the heart center in front of the sternum. Then release both arms. Just taking a moment here to connect both feet to the floor, spreading the toes down into the mat, opening the palms forwards, shoulders are back and down, creating space across the ribcage. Tadasana. Inhale, we lift both arms at the side of the body, bring palms together. Exhale, draw hands down through the center, swan dive, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening the spine, halfway lift, flattening the back. Then exhale, release. Inhale, step to a lunge, then come back into a high plank position. Soften the knees to the floor. Exhale, bend in the elbows, we come down. Inhale, pressing to lift into a cobra. Slight bend in the elbows, shoulders relax. On the next exhalation, come into table, then tuck the toes. Pressing to lift into our downward facing dog. And breathe. Knees soften, the heels lift. Either walk the feet in slowly or step to a lunge, then into a forward fold. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, draw hands to the heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Knees soften, step lunge. Then again into our high plank position. Bring knees to the floor. Exhale, bend in the elbows. Keeping that extension in the spine until we breathe in to open out into a cobra. As we exhale, either into table or into a downward facing dog. So we can always leave the knees to the floor or those knees are lifted. On the next inhalation, lift and float the right leg towards the ceiling, keeping those hips squared. As we exhale, we soften the knee. We come forwards into a high plank position. We hold, but keep breathing. Hold the position, don't hold the breath. Breathe in, press to lift right leg. This time exhale, soften knee, round the spine, planting that foot to the floor. We bring the back heel to the floor as well. Then lifting both arms. Breathe in to lift into that warrior one position. Release the arms, but stay upright. Breathe in, interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders back and down, expand across the ribcage. Then exhale, we hinge to come forwards into our humble warrior position. the upper body. Again, both arms float back up into our warrior one. This time exhale, release hands, framing the front foot, lift the back heel. Step back into our high plank, and then either bring knees to the floor or the weight comes forwards. Exhale, full chaturanga. Keep control of your movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, either into table or into our downward facing dog. Breathe in, lift and float left leg towards the ceiling, keep hips squared. Exhale, bring the weight forwards, readjust, high plank position. Hold the position, not the breath. Breathe in, press to lift. This time exhale, soften knee round the spine, plant left foot to the floor, spin right heel to the floor, and lift both arms, coming into our warrior one on the other side. Squaring those hips, they face the same direction as that front knee. We release the arms, interlace the fingers, breathe in, draw shoulders back and down, dome through those ribs. Then exhale, come forwards into our humble warrior position. Inhale, lifting back up, float both arms up again towards the ceiling, warrior one. Then exhale, release the hands, frame that foot, lift the back heel, we step into our high plank position. Either knees to the floor or exhale, full chaturanga. Inhale, lift, cobra or up dog. If we're in up dog, the knees are off the floor. Then exhale, pressing downward facing dog. Knees soften, heels lift. Either walk, step, or float the feet forwards into our Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, drawing hands, heart center. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, hinge, come forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Knees soften, step lunge, then high plank. Remember, always option for knees to the floor or weight forwards, full chaturanga. Inhale, lifting cobra or up dog. Then exhale either into table or into our downward facing dog. This time, inhale, lift to float. Right leg up towards the ceiling, keeping those hips squared. Then exhale, soften in the right knee, round the spine, planting that right foot to the floor. From here, pressing to lift the right arm up, we turn towards the knee that's bent. Option to stay here, or we bring those palms together, let the arm find the outside of the thigh in a revolved warrior. Keep breathing. And imagine pressing that left heel against a wall. Focusing on the breath and that stability within the posture. So we release. Frame the front foot first of all. Then inhale, lifting both arms up, fingertips towards the ceiling. Bring palms together into the sternum. Soften that back knee. Hopefully we have room. Power forwards onto that front foot. Lengthen through the spine. Keeping those hips even in a warrior three. We can flex that back foot. If we need to, imagine pushing against a wall to help with that stability. This is our warrior three posture. Softening the front knee, bring back foot to the floor. Inhale, lifting both arms slowly. Then exhale, release hands. Press back into a high plank position. Weight comes forwards, either knees to the floor, or exhale, full chaturanga. Inhale, lift cobra or up dog. Then exhale, pressing to lift either into table or into a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and float left leg up towards the ceiling. Again, those hips are square. Exhale, soften left knee round the spine. Plant left foot to the floor here. Leaving that right heel lifted, we press to lift left arm, turning towards that left knee, opening across the back. Option, we stay here. Maybe bring palms together and let the upper arm find the outside of the thigh, hands to prayer in our revolved warrior. And so again we release. We press to lift slowly up. Float those arms up towards the ceiling. Bring palms together. They come in front of the sternum, the heart center. Soften back knee and exhale, spring forwards, lengthening through the spine, through that back leg. It helps to flex the foot and imagine pushing against a wall. Using that breath for extra support. Softening into the supporting knee, bring back foot to the floor. Again, lifting both arms up, releasing shoulders. Release the feet, frame the front foot, then press back, high plank. Weight forwards, either knees to the floor, or exhale, full chaturanga. Inhale, lift cobra or up dog. And exhale, lifting either into table or into down dog. Again, knees soften, heels lift. Walk, step or float, feet forwards, Uttanasana. Breathe in, lift those arms, palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, hinge, coming forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping lunge, then high plank. Either knees to the floor or weight forwards for full chaturanga. Inhale, lift, cobra or up dog. Exhale, either into table or into our downward dog. This time, as we inhale, we lift, we float right leg towards the ceiling, open and stack the hips, bend into that right knee as much as possible. So we're really working into that right hip joint. It's tempting to hold the breath here. Try to stay with that breath. From here, sweep this right leg through. Plant the foot to the floor between the hands. We spin the back heel to the floor. Then windmill the arms, left and then the right. Coming into our warrior two posture. Sending the energy out through those fingertips. Center is strong. And we rotate the upper body facing the side. Inhale, turn right hand to the ceiling. We reach forwards and over that knee. Then exhale to pull away from that knee, coming into a reverse warrior position. Bring it back into our warrior two. This is the big one, there's a few options. First of all, bend the elbow and we extend in that left arm. And if we're happy here, we stay in our side angle. Maybe bring fingertips or palm to the floor. For a flying warrior, left hand comes to the floor and we move our right arm underneath that right leg. So there's no chance of this working unless this right leg can have a platform on that right tricep. We bring the left hand to the foot or to the big toe and try to power into that right foot. So we lengthen through the right leg and draw the left shoulder back. And really the trick is to use this right arm for most or all of that support. And soften that right knee. And from wherever we are, we readjust, we come back into our warrior two. Again, inhale, turn right hand to the ceiling, reach forwards. Exhale, pull away into our reverse warrior. And then we windmill the arms, right and then the left. Lifting left heel, stepping back. High plank, either chaturanga or knees to the floor, elbows bent. Inhale, we lift, cobra or up dog. Exhale, either table or into our downward facing dog. On the next inhalation, lift and float left leg to the ceiling. Open and stack the hips, bending that left knee. So again, we're working into that left hip joint, opening out. From here, we sweep this left leg through, planting the left foot to the floor. Also bring right heel down in line with that left heel. So windmill the arms, right and then the left, into warrior two on the other side. Thinking about sending the energy out through those fingertips. We have our center engaged and strong. Knee bends, same direction as the toes. We can stay here. Option, inhale, turn left hand to the ceiling, reach forwards over that knee. Then exhale, pull away into our reverse warrior. And then again, drawing it back into our warrior two. We might stay here, or we can bend in the elbow and extend in that right arm, keeping the shoulder back. So this arm almost frames the rest of the body. And we can stay here. We might bring the fingertips or palm to the floor, or if we're going for our flying warrior, readjust. First of all, bring right hand to the floor, then readjust the left arm, bring it underneath that left leg. Remember, we need this platform with the arm for this pose to work. Bring the right hand either to the foot or fingers around the big toe and power as much as possible into that left foot, opening into that right shoulder. We need flexibility, strength, and good mobility in the shoulder joints for this posture. Release. And so from wherever we are, again, we meet in our warrior two posture, sending the energy out through the fingertips. Inhale, turn left hand to the ceiling, reach forwards. Exhale, pulling away into our reverse warrior one more time. Then we windmill the arms, left and then the right. Lifting right heel away from the floor, stepping back, high plank. Either bring knees to the floor or weight forwards, full chaturanga. Inhale, lift cobra or up dog. Then exhale, lifting either into table or into a downward dog. Knees soften and heels lift. Maybe step into a lunge or float those feet forwards. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, drawing hands, heart center. From here we lift right leg, we bring the right leg over the left leg and also bring left arm over the right arm. Either back of the hands or the palms together and try to lift the elbows there in line with those shoulders. We can stay here. Maybe we soften the supporting knee as well, pressing those hips back as if we're trying to sit in a chair. We can float the foot away from the floor. Maybe we wrap that foot into eagle pose. Makes it challenging to balance because the arms are in front of the face, but try and breathe through it. We release. We change sides. So we lift left leg over the right arm over the left, either back of the hands or palms together. Again, try and lift those elbows so they're in line with the shoulders. Then soften knees, pressing hips back as if we're sitting in a chair. We can float the foot away, or maybe wrap that foot in. Eagle pose. We release. Placing both feet close together again, we find our Tadasana position, opening palms forwards. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hinge, coming forwards. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathe out, release. Inhale, step lunge, then high plank. Soften knees to the floor. And exhale, bend in those elbows. Inhale, lifting into a cobra. This time as we exhale, we soften knees. Also fold from the hips and open into those shoulders into a child's pose. Just taking a moment to let the body recover, relax. Slowly restack the vertebrae, so we roll up gently through the spine. Relax the shoulders. Just bring those legs around from underneath the body and extend. We bend just the right knee first of all, then release that knee to the floor, bring the foot into the thigh. We square the upper body in line with that leg. Inhale, lifting both arms. Then exhale to round forwards. Bring the hands towards that foot. Option for a bind here. We can lift and place this right foot into the crease of the hip as long as it feels okay on the knee. And maybe send this right hand round to take hold of the foot for a full bind. Inhale, lifting left arm. Then exhale, we fold, trying to keep that bind. Release. Lengthening right leg. We bend left knee, release that left knee to the floor, the foot comes into the thigh. Again, square the upper body in line with that leg. Inhale, lifting both arms. And then exhale to round and come forwards towards that foot. You might stay here. Or maybe we lift and place this foot to the crease of the hip. Now we can, if it feels comfortable, send the same hand round to take hold of that foot so we have a bind, lifting the remaining arm, and exhale to come forwards towards the foot. Whichever option feels best for you. We're trying not to collapse here, but we stay lifted and stay long in the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Both knees bent, placing those feet to the floor. Inhale, finding extension in the spine, arms along, fingertips are forwards. As we exhale, we hinge the hips first of all. Using our center, we come back away from the knees. Then tuck tailbone underneath, so we curve in the spine as we roll slowly down towards the floor. Legs extend, The feet roll out gently to the side of the body, so a bit of a turn out from those hips. Opening the palms to the ceiling. Just noticing that connection to the floor, across the back and along the spine. We just take a moment, a minute here, to relax, let the body recover. Try to release the muscles in the face. Observe any thoughts passing by like clouds. In Shavasana. And so we just begin to gently move those fingers and move the toes. And then we can soften in both knees and bring those hands to take hold of the shins. We just rock gently from side to side, so we release any tension in that lower back. And then we can fold into the recovery position on one side, so stacking those knees one on top of the other. We slowly lift away from the mat. We come to sit either with the legs crossed or just sit in a comfortable position for you. Shoulders relaxed. Within this stillness, we take a deep breath in through the nose, lifting both arms. Breathing out through the mouth, release. One more time, deep breath in. Breathing out through the mouth. And relax. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. If you'd like anything specific, perhaps some tutorials on arm balances, on headstands, maybe some more beginners classes, just let me know in the comments and I can create some more content for you. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.